Welcome, Mahala Monday it is. Hope everybody is doing well. My name is Dougal. Yes, Rhoda. Hello.
Yes, welcome Dougal. Welcome all our viewers out there. And I hope you got your cup of coffee or your plate of food ready and come enjoy our company.
I like how you say plate of food. It's like you're reading my mind here. But first up, you know what? It is the final show for the month of Women's Month.
That's
August,
right.
because in a couple of days we go into September.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the strangest thing because it's August. I just got over the fact that I don't say Happy New Year anymore. And yeah, it's already month 8. Month 8 is done.
It's done. You know what? And the fact that it's so hot today.
Oh.
I mean, it was so cold and it's more like spring is here. That's September. I mean, geez.
It's proper. Do you know what? I miss the cold. Cold, please come back. Some snow. All of these things come back. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
It is weird. It is
but
weird.
What isn't weird is that you're here, and thank you very much for that. So first things first, of course, you got to like, subscribe, share this video, but definitely subscribe. Do us that big favor, do that. So what Rhoda has done, she's rounded up some news stories that has made headlines, whether from a serious nature to a very Rhoda nature. She's put it in here and we're going to talk about it. That's what we're going to do. But please do us the big favor of subscribing to the channel. It will make all the difference as well. And but yes, I hope Women's Month was good for everybody. It was yours. How was yours? Let me ask you.
Mine was good, Dougal. I cannot complain. And there was a lot of highlighting, especially on women and, you know, the needs out there. And especially with one of the things that I got very excited about and the news that I saw was that now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but remember, guys, this is also our opinions. And you know what? You're glad to comment on these as well. That the South African Protea cricket ladies is now being paid as the same as the men.
Yes, they want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that for me, Dougal, if that is one of the things that had happened and highlighted this month, then that is a great achievement.
And it is. I mean, do you know what? I mean, we had the Netball World Cup,
oh, yeah.
and obviously they're talking about, and I'm not sure whether that's for the domestic league that Cricket South Africa has just announced, or whether that's for the international games. But they're definitely talking about same match fee or appearance fee, whatever you want to call it. That is definitely something that is going to be addressed. And the rest of the sporting coaches just got to follow suit because that really is what we need.
That's
and obviously we will see how our national team will excel as soon as you have a professional league.
Exactly.
So, you know, this has got to happen for all sporting codes. And yeah.
Good example also Banyana and Bafana.
Yeah. Well, Banyana, a good example. Bafana, Rhoda, come
example.
now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like,
the ladies should be getting even more than the men there.
I mean.
So guys, remember the stories that I've kind of put together.
Yes.
It is obviously what's been happening out in social media, so News 24 and Sky News. There's all these different news that we basically go and look at and see what's happening. And then also obviously sports news on News 24 as well. So thank you to all of them. So we need to mention them as well. And
before you start, remember what you just said now with comments. So we're looking forward to the comments. You got questions? Ask Rhoda. But I know you're going to start off on something that is not really the best of...
It's not the best of the news, obviously, and everybody's been chatting about it.
Yeah,
and you actually made an extremely good comment before we started. So it's about, obviously, the passing of Derek Watts. And you know what? You had highlighted it. It feels like the time when Mandela passed away.
Yeah.
So it's quite a sad time.
It was like this because this man was extraordinary, man. I mean, we're talking par excellence. I mean, gentle giant. And I'm just going on some of the tributes I read and how everybody describing people who work closely with him. But I mean, as far as investigative journalists went, he was... And yeah, I mean, obviously in the South African media, I mean, this guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of greats that are in a room, but this man is probably in the center of the room. So it is very sad to lose him, and I mean, it's a big loss for the country, and also a big loss for the truth, big loss for finding out what you got to find out. But I got to tell you. If I look back at his career and what he did as an investigative journalist and thinking of the scope of the programming he was part of, when it came to the confrontations, because those were the key moments they would confront the perpetrator, the wrongdoer, the person that wasn't so. He was calm. Like they almost wanted to talk to him. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know what it's like when somebody accuses you and walks into the door and like, listen.
Exactly.
You know, when they do. I know what it's like. He had an amazing gift.
And presence.
Yeah, and more importantly, I mean, everybody speaks so fondly of him, a warm and a kind person, and obviously big empty space.
And you know, when they're talking about the giant, I mean, I met him in Johannesburg, Dougal, and I ran after him and I said I need a photo with him, and I was holding, like hugging him. But I'm telling you, I'm not a short person. I'm 1.7. I had to look up to this man. So this is how tall he was. He's very tall. So I was shocked because you always see them on television and you're like, you're not aware of how tall they are, but he was tall. Very tall.
I don't know if I said this to you. I might have said it here on the program, or I might have said it like, there were two people that got a very similar speech pattern. He was one, and another guy with a surname Van Immenis, and also acts as announcers. And because it's a field that I'm quite involved in, you know, in terms of announcing and calling and that sort of thing. They had the same speech pattern, so it was always the kind of speech pattern you would sort of model things on. So the scope in terms of what he's done has been outstanding. He's been such a hard worker, immense talent, and such a good man.
We'll miss
good
him,
man, and and once again, our thoughts are obviously with all his loved ones as well. But we do have a comment, and that's from Tony, who says, "Rest in peace, Derek." Yeah, most certainly. Thank you, Tony, for that.
Tony.
Yeah, definitely one. I don't think things are going to be the same.
It won't. I kind of look at Carte Blanche, and especially when he started getting sick, I kind of missed him already because, you know, he wasn't that much on screen, obviously, because there was a lot of other people trying to fill in his shoes and trying to basically cover for him. It just wasn't kind of the same. So now I'll miss him. I'll seriously. I look forward to my Carte Blanche, you know, and just watching it.
big man.
So let's move on. So very sad. But Dougal, quite a bit has happened. One of the funniest things which I saw basically on social media was sinkholes. So
it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. There's a good example. This apparently happened in Lavendale. As you can see, that's a TikTok video that's been going viral right now.
That's in Cape Town.
That's in Cape Town. So Lavendale, as you can see, the people, you'll see some people probably there with pajamas, but excuse their pajamas. It's kind of happened on the morning. So the dirt truck fell in, Dougal. So the ground gave way, and that's what you call a sinkhole. It collapsed in there.
And this is probably how you save petrol, because they normally go to a landfill. Now Earth is just going, it's all right. Let's just open up, park. Because I don't even know what causes a sinkhole, but I mean, this is a proper problem because, you know, houses, cars, this is proper scary.
Yeah, look where the houses on the flats
that old truck.
Exactly.
Nobody got injured.
Nobody got injured. There was apparently a little girl that jumped out that also collapsed with her, but never got hurt, but she jumped out.
They got out?
Yes, she jumped out. She didn't even...
And very important, none of the dirt, the garbage got injured either.
It's still intact.
It's still in the truck.
It's still in the truck.
On its way to recycling.
Then besides that one, there was a second one, Dougal.
Oh.
That was basically on the 21st of August. And that was the one in Montague. As you can see there, it's Montague,
Montague Gardens,
which is Montague Drive in Milnerton. So there you can see as well. So it's scary. Look how massive is that.
That's pretty big.
Look at that car. Can you see the car on the side they do?
Yeah.
How many cars can fit
Oh,
in
yeah,
there?
I see, yeah, like good scale. Well done.
So yeah.
Your photographing skills is...
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of scary for me because I thought to myself, what if you were driving through that at that point? You know what I'm saying? And this whole thing just collapsed. Thank God nothing had happened, no cars, nothing. It's just this massive sinkhole. So obviously they had to clear it, fill it out, and then obviously start from scratch. But me personally, I think it's with the rains we had to go. I don't know. I suspect it will be.
Yeah, like all sort of minerals and things are loose, and then things just... And this is why it is super important because, as you say, the rains, but when you build the roads and stuff, you got to prep properly. You got to do the stamping. You know
You have to.
You always see the guy with the compact. That's it. You know, you got to do that properly. So you got to do that properly. And this is where we got to hold people account when they do this, especially on public places. I mean, obviously nobody can foresee sinkhole, but I know other cities and other places in South Africa it happens. In our country, we're lucky.
We've been fortunate.
We've been very fortunate in South Africa. This kind of sinkhole here, sinkhole there, sinkhole everywhere.
Exactly, so true. You know, one of my neighbors actually said maybe we should keep the potholes. It reminds me also of sinkholes, but you know, they said maybe we should leave the potholes because it acts like speed humps. So it stops the traffic from basically driving fast down our road. So they said maybe it's a good thing we must have these potholes in our area.
And you're not gonna. That's not a speed hump, man. That's a bye-bye hump.
Exactly.
We see you.
And then
Kimberly.
talking about overseas, Dougal, something that you'll never thought. I know it happened a few years ago, but we were hit by a tornado in an Park.
Oh.
So, yeah. And there was a funny joke. One of my colleagues had said, he said, you know what, maybe it's because America is tornadoes. And, you know, in our Hanover Park, there's a lot of American gangs. So maybe the tornado followed them. I know it's a flow joke, but I couldn't stop laughing.
You're going to get letters for that.
So people at Hanover Park is one of our well-known gang areas. And one
The
of
letters
gangs,
are going to come.
one of the gangs that is there, you got what? Your naughty boys, your clever kids, whatever, and then your ugly Americans. So one of them is ugly Americans. The American gang. So yeah, so we had a tornado. As you can see there, Shayman.
No.
All the people's roofs basically got blown away. Very sad.
Yeah.
All that roofs.
But
were
it
gone.
was just there.
It was just that. So it was basically obviously a tornado, and it just removed everybody in that section. Everybody else on the sides and that were fine, but that houses was affected.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it shows you iron nature, you know. You can't.
You cannot
I
mess
mean,
with
it's just
nature.
there.
Exactly. And it's quick. They said it was within seconds. They just heard this wild, like a wind and the rumbling, and within seconds it was gone. Gone. And the roofs were gone.
Imagine there, you sitting there watching TV,
Yeah.
having a cup of tea, and all of a sudden, still having a conversation.
Yeah. So it was basically, I know one of the people that were injured in one of those flats was a 92-year-old gentleman.
Oh.
And he said he was sitting upstairs because he was sitting in his room upstairs. And his son was on his way to work. And he heard the rumbling, he said, and the next minute, everything was on top of him. So, but he had no injuries, he wasn't hurt. So, but
Sure.
yeah, the shock obviously was quite shocking.
There you have it. There you have it. Can happen at any time.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So when we hear those winds, be careful. But it's scary, Dougal, because of the fact that we never had tornadoes before. I mean, this is something you always hear from overseas, but not.
But you know what? I don't want to sound like a record here and all of this, but when it comes to climate change and the environment, this is no longer something that you just talk about. This is it. The fact that we are the temperature today of what it is, you know, is that.
Hey,
Hubert
Mr.
has got a
Hubert.
message here. Hello, Hubert. Hubert says, a fearless, gentle giant in the pursuit of justice, a life well lived with compassion.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
message for Derek Watts there. Rest in peace. Thank
Rest
you,
in
Hubert.
peace. Thank you,
Absolutely
Hubert.
well put, Hubert.
Beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely well put. But
Then,
bringing me
yeah.
back, Rhoda, this is why the environmental conversation is a real conversation, because you gotta. It is. It's not a conversation. It's you gotta act on it now.
Yeah.
I actually saw a dude the other day throwing a packet or something out of the window.
Yeah.
I was at that traffic light, so he was on the oncoming side, closest to the island, and he threw
Oh my word.
as we drove. I saw the, and I thought, who does that? I
does
hooted.
Exactly.
But I mean, I couldn't. I was,
Stop and go, take and throw it back in again. Guys, please, families out there, in order for us to save and not have our, like you say, the ozone being messed up, it starts off with you as parents. Please, guys, teach your kids to pick up. You can't go yourself as a parent, go and throw your piece of paper on the floor and expect your child not to do this.
You're gonna do it.
So
Do it in your yard.
please.
Do it in your backyard.
I would love to see them do it in their back. But
Do it
then
in your
again, they probably
backyard.
do it. That's why they're doing it in the first place. So it's not a good example. You need to make a difference because it all starts with you. Your kids mirror you.
Idiots.
Yeah, total idiots. So talking about total idiots.
There we go.
Talking about total idiots. So there's a TikTok video that's going around Google. And apparently it is where the parents are cracking eggs on these kids' heads. As you can see there.
Aina.
So this is the thing, phase that's going through TikTok at the moment. And there was a warning that was sent out to parents that the TikTok latest trend, the cracking of the head, it's
Aina.
they have said that it's criticized by medical experts, has been criticized by medical experts, that it causes potential damage. So obviously bruising to the head. And then on top of that, it can spread germs, Dougal. You know that an egg has, you got that word that you...
Salmonella.
I like him saying that word.
Listen, the germs and all of that is the least you're worried. None of those kids looked happy, like went like, hey, look, I got a ear.
Have you
they
tried
cry.
knocking egg into it?
No, I don't want to touch anything. The only thing that touches my head is lotion, Rhoda. Lotion. I can understand people cracking an egg on top of my head. Lotion, people. This is as far as I go. No, man, those people are stupid. How you bang an egg on... If you want... I challenge the pet. Use an ostrich egg.
Oh no!
Then we see. Then we see. Have you tried to open an ostrich egg?
That is.
You need a drill, baby.
You need a drill to open
Then we see what. But did you see those kids? None of them looked happy for the tiki-toki video.
No, they didn't. So parents, please be careful out there. It is. It's try and knock an egg against your head and feel how it feels. I mean, just the shock of it firstly, and then the bruising, and then the fact that there's germs that you're spreading. Then you want to know why your kid is sick tomorrow? Why you cracked the egg on his head.
But so I mean, I look at that. Yeah. And firstly, if those are parents, you're not fit to be a parent. Okay? I would like to do the egg thing on certain grown-up heads. Like, I would like to see parliamentarians play this game and see how that works out.
See how that works out.
But the second thing is, none of those kids look happy. Did you see them cry there?
They didn't look happy, man. Shame.
Nobody wants to see that. And then you put it on TikTok.
And it's on TikTok. So that is what's happening right now. So the smashing of the egg.
And then you get views. And the more views you get, the better it is.
And the poor kid suffered. I wonder if they wouldn't look at something like that and actually look at kind of calling it a kind of a bit of a child abuse, I would say.
I would think so. Right? But
if they had to take it
everything
further.
is back to front. Do you know,
that's our opinions, guys, remember.
I get criticized. No, and I hold by this because I get criticized because I call people to their face like they're idiots. They're absolutely idiots. You're fit to be a parent. That is how you... those aren't children, those are toddlers.
There's toddlers.
Who's not even like baby people.
Yeah, they were still... You must remember their skull is not fully formed. So compared to adult skull and a kid's skull is not exactly the same.
The idiot people. All those people's IQ is room temperature. All of them have eggs for brains. And I'm going to do that. Boiled egg. Next time, if you want to play that game, kiddies, here's it. This is the new TikTok video. Take a boiled egg and do that on mommy and daddy's thing. And egg's not going to go, right? And then you get 3 bashes, and a blister, and then boiled egg. I challenge all kids to do that on their parents' thing. Just let mom and dad boil their egg first. Tell them that's what it's for. See what they say.
Shame.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't listen to Dougal. So, Dougal, sports.
Yes, fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Sadly, we still have a national team called Bafana, but nobody talks about them that much anymore. But all the focus is obviously with the build-up because the Rugby World Cup is close. It is close. You can touch it, feel it. It is here. Remember, we used to say that all the time with the 2010 World Cup. But be as it may, the current world champs, Springboks, they played a game on Friday night past.
Yeah.
Against a real contender from the nation of New Zealand. Have you heard of this country?
I've heard of this country.
And they got a team there called the All Blacks.
That's right.
And that's the full-time score there. 7 to New Zealand and 35 to South Africa.
Exactly.
And, okay. Now, at one stage, New Zealand had no points.
It was 0, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I was at a thing, and I kept saying on the microphone, 2% milk has more points than that. Boom. That 7 came in the last minute or 2.
That came in the last.
But okay, let's not read too much into it. It was a practice game, a warm-up game.
And I'm sorry, Dougal.
New Zealand had yellow cards, red cards, green cards, pink cards, black cards, blue cards. So you can't read too much into it.
But Dougal, I'm
practice
sorry.
game. But it's a lekker confidence.
I was going to say, Dougal, I'm sorry to say, I've been hearing this whole time. Oh, we can't take the score seriously. It's been a set.
No, you got to be realistic.
Hello, Dougal. For me,
still counts.
I'm sorry, Dougal. Me, I'm a green blood. Says a win is a win because I hate losing. I'm going to be straight out. I don't care if it was a setup. I just love winning.
No, because I think a lot of people, I think a lot of the teams over the past couple of days have just been trying out. However, all the talk of not taking the game serious was quashed by both of these camps. everybody was saying we're going to give this a proper go. I mean, you're playing in front of
Exactly.
80,000 people out in Twickenham.
Exactly.
The fact that New Zealand got their backside handed to them, you got it handed to you. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't think the red cards and the yellow cards and the pink and the blue cards helped, but you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
South Africa played well. They dominated New Zealand up front.
They did.
Fantastic.
And my kicker?
And he kicked. He kicked. There was 1 or 2 dodge kicks.
It was, yeah, but I take my hat off because you know why? I put good energy out there. I kept on saying, you can do this.
You better do what you want to do.
You can do this, you can do this.
Sadly,
So
it wasn't the case. England, I fought toch.
They
They lost against Fiji.
Should we say?
No, yeah,
sorry.
straight. They lost against Fiji. We're talking about the team
Fiji,
not
look
so
at
long
that.
ago who chased Eddie Jones away. All of a sudden, that looks like a very good decision. Well done there. How bad do you want to be? You're going to be playing in the Bafana League soon. They royally twisted up now.
Totally.
These
Look
people
at
are
that
aiming
score.
for
And it
failure.
was-
Fooi toch.
It was tight, Dougal. It was tight. I kind
Yeah,
of watched a
Shane,
bit
England,
of the game, but
They currently rank like 8th or 9th or...
on the
I don't know where they are, but there's not many people below them.
there's not. So
You know?
it's quite shocking,
Yeah.
especially for a team like England.
But
I mean,
Fiji, well
was
done.
Very well done.
But given the results, I mean, a lot of nations, the divide between North and South has always been ginormous in
It
terms of
has.
Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and
Yeah.
the rest of the world. But as we know, Ireland has been up there, Wales,
yeah,
maybe not
they're
as
right
much,
on top.
Scotland, England have been good. But all of a sudden, teams that were there, they're always punching above their weight, the Argentinas of the world, Italy, Fiji. All of a sudden, I'm telling you now, take a bet on this if you can, not that we support gambling. But this World Cup is going to throw a couple of
It's going
surprises.
to- I think so as well.
There's going to be a couple of surprises.
I'm looking
That's
forward
all
to
I'm
that.
saying. Surprise rice, baby. And
I'm
guess
so
what?
looking forward
Break
to
an egg on the head. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Yeah.
And then for all our Formula One lovers out there, so yes, I do believe that Max Verstappen has tied with Sebastian Vettel, you pronounce it.
Vettel.
Yeah, the 2000 record, winning 9 consecutive races. Am I correct? And both drivers achieved this by racing with a Red Bull.
Yeah, with it.
Yeah.
They also had the drink before the time, I'm sure.
I
But
was gonna say because Red Bull gives you wings.
yeah, but yeah. Look, it's this is quite something, you know. Now
It is.
this is quite something,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
was
clearly
history they made, eh?
yeah.
Total history.
Schumacher, obviously, 12 consecutive races, as you printed for me.
Yeah.
So so that is extraordinary. But 9 is definitely something
9
to
is exactly.
look there.
Look
Look
at
there.
that. There we go.
Is that the cup? It's not the. It's a bit of an ugly cup, though. No wonder people weren't racing. Do you know what I mean?
Because if you're looking at that cup,
Are you gonna race for a styrofoam trophy?
looks like a styrofoam.
I know we want to be green, but geen wonder die braad gewen nie. That's why he won.
That's how history was made.
People racing here for a styrofoam trophy.
And then Dougal, last but not least, apparently this is one of the stories that kind of hit the headlines as well, which is one of our funny little stories, but it's still got to do with sports. So it was a football lover, but the football lover was a criminal. So he was a criminal.
Let me rephrase that. A football lover, that is normal.
That is normal. So his name is Vincenzo Laporta. And he had been on the run for 11 years, Dougal. 11 years.
Tabo Bester style.
Tabo Bester style, on the run. And he was snapped apparently on this balcony in his hometown after the Serie, you said the
Serie A.
Championship, where he was watching it in his hometown on his balcony. And obviously there the police saw him and bam, they went in and got him. After 11 years of being on the run.
So his team won, they is celebrating. Yay.
Yay!
And then the police go, aren't you?
Exactly.
And there they have him.
And then they caught him. Shame. Because of his soccer, he exposed himself because of his soccer. And he got caught.
Hey. So what you were saying, if he was a Bafana supporter,
Yes.
he never would have been caught because his team would never have won.
Would never have won because he wouldn't have celebrated.
Fair enough. You got it.
And that's all from me, Dougal. So
Nah.
short and sweet tonight, guys.
Short and sweet. Thanks, Rhoda. That's some interesting stuff. But listen, it is the back end of August and
It is.
and Women's Month. And but as you said, the whole thing with with the salary discrepancies, they try to address that with his sport. This is like a super thing. And
So
it is a real wow.
It's a real wow.
It's a wow moment.
And you know what?
And what is sad is that we actually call it a wow moment.
We call it a wow moment,
Do you know what I mean?
It shouldn't be
shouldn't
in
be.
the first place.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
And then also, obviously, there was a highlight also on, you know, the murders of women, rape, and the murder of kids, and especially women. Guys, please come now. Even after Women's Month, I would say, you know what, respect at the end of the day goes a long way. And if you got issues, you got problems, get help.
Yeah.
Because this is unacceptable that women are dying every day. So now come now, guys. We need to make a difference. You need to make a difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it is definitely something.
Women's Month mustn't just be for August. It needs to be for the
Yeah.
rest of the year.
And you know what? I must actually tell you this because I spoke to my father and he's on like, anyway, but redressing injustices of the past when it comes to sort of the restitution and the redress, and especially when it came to unequal pay to genders. They're making significant inroads in terms of redressing that. So and he was at a conference or something for this the last while. Do we have a comment? We do.
Yes, we do.
Aha! Our boys played fantastic, yet it feels like New Zealand took the attention off themselves.
Yeah. Me personally, Alfonso, I think they put more attention on themselves.
But this is the thing. This is why I say you can't read too much into it because it was a Speck and Boychy game.
Exactly, it was.
You know, but it doesn't matter. It's bragging rights,
yeah,
which is the important thing, and that's where me and you are coming from. But I understand that in terms of the, you know, people are just trying. They don't want to injure themselves. So there's a lot going in because that's the last thing you want.
That's the last thing you want.
The problem they have is that they got a red card and that one, the lock, they missed the first game or two from the world. So that's a proper problem now.
It is a problem.
And you lost.
Exactly. What does Alfonso say, Dougal?
Those Maori supporters in SA. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, look, there's a lot. There's a lot. Actually, and I've been saying I wanted to bridge this. Let me just touch on this quickly. So I believe, and I can understand this, okay? And this is normally what I refer to as dom people. And if you're part of a dom, it's fine. We've just seen people crack eggs on their children's head, on their own offspring, eier. So let's be honest, there's not a lot of clever people out there. But I have this thing where I go nation first. Now, let me just preface this by this, and I'll try and do it in a minute and a half. So most countries have like this Pledge of Allegiance where the flag means everything. We see this across the world, right? Yeah, a lot of countries have that. Yeah. Now, obviously, South Africa's got a bit of a checkered past. We understand that. So back in the day, people of color, which will include me and you, we wouldn't support the national symbols or the national teams due to the isolation that we've experienced. We all know what happened under apartheid. Yeah. But now, let's be honest, this is now, what, 30 years ago? Now, all of a sudden, things, right? So, and there's a pride, and you argument used to be I don't support the national teams because of the makeup of the teams.
So true.
Hence, that argument is mute. Now, I can understand if you never supported the South African national sport teams, then maybe you still find it difficult. However, the island you live on now, to advance that argument, is being flooded. High tide is in, and if you can't swim, it's tickets. So that is as simple as it is now. So it is very important because these are the same people who don't vote. These are the same people who don't positively contribute to South Africa well-being. These are the same people who criticize everything. And when there's something to be happy about, especially if the Boks do well or Bafana does well in a practice match, when any of this happens, this is moments for us to celebrate when the Proteas play well. You cannot say, I don't support the country. Exactly. And when South Africa plays against New Zealand, then immediately you're a New Zealand supporter. And you from here, you got no Maori roots.
None.
You can't even spell the word Maori. Do you know what I mean? They can't even spell the word Maori. You got no, you are Aboriginal here, Indigenous here. So you can't even spell the word Maori. Then the second thing is, and I get that because everybody is fascinated by the All Blacks. They're an amazing brand. It is a team that is exemplary. If you support them, I get that. When South Africa plays them, the duty falls on you to fall where your ID lies.
Exactly.
I get that if you don't want to. Then plays any other country, you don't have the All Black argument. Then your loyalties lies with your
national team. Yeah.
That still doesn't happen. the mere fact that people support, and especially people of color, and you know who you are, south of Cape Town, you know who you are,
Exactly.
where half of them support the All Blacks, is purely based out of an anti-Springbok sentiment. We've had coaches of color. One of my best friends is the forward coach currently for the Springbok team. How can you not support? How can you say the makeup is not there?
Exactly.
The only explanation is that you are an idiot.
You need to
Write those letters. Put your comments in. I would honestly like to talk to someone. If you are a true, because and let me put it out there, Rhoda. And I know I said a minute and a half. Sorry, I lied. It's now 2 minutes, 3 actually. But the point is, if you support somebody out of that anti-South African sentiment, I would like to know why.
Exactly.
I would like to know why. And yeah, apartheid is the reason. That's fine. But I grew up with this issue my whole life.
Whole life.
My whole life I grew up with this. So, and let me give you a perspective, because my perspective on this is a little bit different. My grandfather was the president of the Cycling Federation, the National Cycling Federation. So I come out of a house with sporting administrators. My father, my aunt, a lot of my family was the best at their discipline in sport. And my dad, in April, we spoke about this, got national colors in April this year.
Yeah.
52, 53 years after he got a South African record. He was honored.
And yeah, exactly.
He wasn't allowed to represent his country purely because of the color of his skin.
Color of his skin, yeah.
He wasn't. So he had this, and you know, and everybody believed that no sport in a unjust society. What was the saying again? No, somebody will correct me on that. But no sport in unjust society. Anyway, there was a saying like that. But that's what everybody believed. But the point is, they've all changed because the tide has changed.
The tide has changed.
Because their anger was rooted in the fact that they couldn't represent.
Yeah.
Now, somebody else can. Who is exactly from their roots. Yes, their time is gone. They're not competitive anymore.
Yeah.
I can understand that they have a bit of narrate, those era of people.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, it's forgive and forget and we move on.
New
We
generation.
all pay for stupid decisions.
Yeah.
We all pay. The victims pay longer than people that might have benefited from apartheid, and this is it. But now, the victims are fighting amongst themselves.
True.
And I would love to talk to somebody, just why?
And
Why?
For me, Dougal, I think what grates me even more is the fact that if you look at the younger generation that's never even been in apartheid, they don't even know what it was all about. These are some of the kids or younger generations actually backing the All Blacks. And you, as the generation kind of that came from that, know what the struggle was all about, had to be thrown out of your class or actually experience apartheid on another level. You know what? You're embracing the changes. Me, as I'm sitting here, am the most proudest South African Springbok supporter because of the fact that if you look at our guys at the back, look at our backline guys. Changes happen, time has changed, things has happened. Rassie, and know you're a water boy on the side of the field, but you know what? You made major changes and you gave us hope. So for me, the newer generation is still sitting with the fact that their grandparents ever they need to track. You know what? You need to really look at where you're coming from. You were born in South Africa. You were raised in South Africa. Unfortunately, your blood is green.
Because the thing is, Rhoda, and I'm not saying the effects of, and don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying or provocating that the effects of apartheid wasn't there. I can understand the pure hate for that. I can understand it. That is, I understand that. But the point is, if you're 23, if you're 33, do you know what I mean? 94, we voted.
On the show.
That's 30 years.
Just invite one of the All
you
Blacks.
can't say you hate South Africa if you're 25.
If you're 25.
Then you need to get your passport ready and
go.
Bye-bye. And don't let the turnstile at the passport gate hit you on the back. That's what you got to do. And I'm sorry, that's what it is. Because if you tickets.
I think we must invite one day All Blacks.
Yeah, we need to. No, but they know it now after 35-7. After Basel, no.
Still.
They don't have airtime.
No comment.
They don't have airtime, nothing. 35-7. 35-7. I put my phone off too. You know what I mean? You know what it is.
Is that the rap, Dougal?
That is definitely
I
it.
think Dougal feels good because I know last week you already wanted to comment about this, and I think now you just had some bit airtime to vent. But I always allow him.
And the thing is, we all like the All Blacks, but
No,
all
we
I'm
do.
saying is there is a bit of a duty when it comes. You
When the
have
two
that
plays,
duty.
yeah.
You have that duty. I want to leave you with this 30 seconds. If a Martian had to land tomorrow, and I know who they are because I have seen them, but if a Martian lands tomorrow and he asks you, oh, so why don't you support your own country? What do you say? Regardless of what country you're in, what are you going to tell the Martian? You can't because he's going to give you an egg. TikTok. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things you got to do. And we'll be back soon.
Yeah, don't forget to share, guys. Have a fabulous week.
Bye-bye.
Rest in peace, Derek.